Bachelor Nation, will you accept this rose? We love you. Love is in the air. It's magic. 'Cause love is on the air. On TV. So love is on the air. Podcast. It's a podcast. Podcast. Love is in the air. It's magic. 'Cause love is on the air. On TV. So love is on the air. A podcast. It's a podcast. Andy, Liv, Sarah, and Glenn. Bachelor Pod. It's the Bachelor Pod. It's a podcast about The Bachelor.
The Bachelor Pod starts now.
Okay, we've got a few microphones and an open channel of communication to a couple of our pals, so I thought, why not? Why don't we do a podcast about The Bachelor right now? What do you say? Andy, Sarah, Liv, are you in?
I'm in.
I'm in.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Liv's in. Okay, let's do a podcast about The Bachelorette.
Great.
Done.
What a good idea, Glenn.
I feel like that should come before the theme song.
Every time they listen to Tooth.
And then but like have that happen and then just for this episode and then the theme song kicks in. That sounds
yeah,
like
it's got a bit
good.
of it like an 80s cold open sitcom
Yeah.
vibe. Like, Andy, ready? Sarah, here
Let's
we go.
And we're all doing something and we turn around and smile.
Just like that. Yeah.
A la Bachelor in Paradise.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Full
that's
circle.
right. Yep, full circle. There
I'm
we
just
are.
going to do a check-in with you, Andy. Is everything recording?
Yes, everything is recording.
Because I can't hear myself on my own mic.
You're not supposed to.
Great.
Yeah, because we, unbeknownst to Liv and I, we just found this out mere minutes ago because we don't listen to our own podcast, but we didn't know that we had a bit of a boner last week, and we missed our whole intro, which I think was pretty banging last week. So apologies to Bachelor Pod Nation for robbing you of what was surely some incredible auditory material via this podcast.
Yeah, all the listeners knew, obviously not only from just like hearing it, but also they were in on the secret that you guys didn't know.
Yeah, we're like, let's see how long it takes. We're going to tell you this week for sure, and then
it did take a week and us revealing it to you, turns out. But yeah. Had some problems, but we should be good to go this week. I don't foresee anything bad happening. I recorded another podcast today to make sure, and it worked perfectly, so we shouldn't have any problems.
Okay. Andy is wearing the T-shirt from his other podcast.
That's right.
Video of our podcast.
Look, it's cool. It's got a dragon wearing a hard hat.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
shades.
a dragon. I thought it was a cool cat.
It's kind. He's a dragon, and he has
it does
big
look
horns.
Like a cool cat.
He has horns.
Those are horns? Those look like arms, bro.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a cool cat with its legs doing a weird handstand.
Oh, weird.
This is podcasting 101. Never visually describe what podcast hosts are doing.
Yeah.
Well, we have a visual component.
I know.
So.
And it happens. It happens in the podcast world, and it happens to the pros too. So
yeah.
Problems there. So yeah, I mean, we're at the end of the day here. We're talking about Bachelorette. That's what this is centered on. We're on episode 2 of Rachel Lindsay's season, and I would say as a whole, I really enjoyed this episode. The ending really got me upset. Made me, all of us were swearing to each other via group text chat. Yep. But as a whole, the dates and the love that was in the air, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a great one.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I read someone say that they enjoyed all the dates on this one episode were better than any in Nick's season. And I kind of concur. Remember how all those dates sort of fell flat and it never felt like he was connecting to anyone?
That's true. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
getting that vibe? Because I'm getting that vibe. I agree with that poster, will not receive credit for that quote because I don't remember who it was. But
I don't know if I agree that every single date was better. I think the activities on that first date were fun, but I didn't really see her connect really with anyone on that first date.
On the very first date?
Yeah, the group date.
Right.
We'll talk about it. But
yeah, well, let's open it up to that first group date. And before that, we hung around with Rachel a little bit and her little doggy, which I can't believe we didn't bring up in episode 1.
I know.
Totally slipped my mind. But that little dog with the cast, and what does the cast say?
Oh, we freeze framed it, but lost it and couldn't get it back.
The injured dog.
I didn't know it said anything.
There's a number on it.
It had something, and I know some of you out there are screaming it into your iPods.
So sorry.
But we'll figure that out eventually. But yeah, the cast was labeled something. We had a good freeze frame there. In
Well, his name is
episode 1.
Copper. Did it have something to do with the word copper?
Maybe.
No, I don't think so.
Copper's cast.
That would have been cute.
I have a question though. What did they show off the top? Why didn't we see that?
It wasn't
No.
anything big. It was just her cavorting around like, this week I'm still looking for love.
Oh,
Here I am with
yeah,
Copper.
we didn't see that.
We didn't see that. How did that?
Well, we
be
were
when it
late.
started
We were late getting in, so the recording started, I guess.
Yeah, it was only like a
Very
minute.
minor. Nothing integral to the story. We've already met Copper, but it was foreshadowing because Copper played a big part later in the episode.
Yes, he did.
Copper
But-
might end up deciding who Rachel ends up with.
He is like a son to Rachel, literally.
His opinion matters.
As
Yeah.
she said he's literally like a son.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess
Literally.
that's correct. Ugh.
Yeah, he doesn't like when the word literally is used incorrectly.
Nor do I, but it's completely lost all meaning now.
Yeah,
So
it now actually means the opposite.
It literally
Yes.
means
No, it doesn't.
gotcha, buddy.
Although it does sort of. Though that's actually kind of correct because
know, but I'm just bugging
brutal. But no, I know you are. But
I'm
that's
literally
the.
bugging you.
But that's my problem with everything. Anyways, what happened to that dog? Can we just get that out of the way real quick?
Nobody
Yeah,
knows
that
what
was-
happened to
I
the
feel
dog.
like it's been shrouded in mystery. I don't
She
know.
was like, she told him, she's like, I'll tell you on the helicopter or whatever, the plane, the jet. And then they didn't show her telling it to him.
Maybe Rachel threw it across the room after she found out she'd be forced to meet those guys on AFR, because that couldn't have been a good time.
Yeah, I was the same way as you, Glenn. I figured she just like manually broke its arm.
Manually.
Like got really upset and just cracked that arm in half.
That'd be terrible. Of course she didn't do that.
I want to see that streak. We kind of saw it in this app.
Not break a dog's arm
But angry,
streak, though.
and I loved it.
She was angry, which is great,
It was
which I
awesome.
loved. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, let's go to this first date.
Yeah, let's go to group date number 1. Very important. This really kicked things off, and this on the date was Dean, Jack, Blake, Iggy, Jonathan the Tickle Monster, Fred, Whaboom, and Kenny. All in all, I'd say a bunch of duds.
Yeah, the
For
only
the
cool
most part.
people were Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and Kenny.
and
Yeah,
Kenny.
And Kenny, yes, and Rachel.
I mean, Ashton Kutcher said it best. I don't think Rachel's guy is in this group. Again, with the exception of Kenny, he's
The exception of Kenny.
maybe a favorite of this pod and of Bachelor Nation as a whole.
Oh, yeah.
But hey, in terms of themed dates, throw a couple celebrities who point out how stupid the show is while doing it.
And say the
It's
word
great.
blowjob.
Yeah, that's true.
That was great.
Kunis got dirty,
Dirty.
but it kind of made me appreciate the celebrity couple of Kunis and Kutcher. They seem to be fine, and as Liv said, it's pretty amazing that 2 people who met on a TV show and
Like 20 years ago are now married.
still going strong.
It's nice.
Arguably the 2 biggest hotties to come out of that show too. So it
Yeah.
makes logical sense in that way.
Although we were saying, I digress here, but during that 70s show era, neither of us, although they're both of our types, were into Ashton Kutcher or Mila Kunis.
Yeah.
He was so
Yeah.
stupid on the show. He was like he was such a dummy on the show. I think it didn't lead me to be attracted.
Oh, really? Yeah. Were you
Yeah.
attracted to
Eric.
either of the other 2?
I thought Eric was cute, but no.
Yeah, I liked him.
Yeah, like he had that what's his name? Ethan Embry
Eric
vibe.
Spieler.
Oh, yeah. Good call.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was really hot at that time, like the nerdy,
Yeah.
shy, like but charming at the same time.
I
I
was-
was more into prep-on back
Oh,
then.
you're more of a prep-on man.
She was
Because her attitude, I always was attracted to people like Carla from Cheers and
Carla
Darlene.
wait.
Darlene from Roseanne's Darlene and Murphy Brown. You know?
Strong women who don't take shit from anyone.
Don't take no guff off of no one.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's funny. I've always been into Mila Kunis. I think I always thought she was a babe, but there's a book series which Glenn and we've read. I think Liv has read it. The
What?
Name of the Wind.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
What?
by Pat
And Sarah's read. You read the first one,
Or
right?
the first one, yeah.
But I always picture Mila Kunis as the main female.
Interesting.
I saw her
role
as a
in that.
blonde.
Yeah,
Liv and I
and
had a-
they might even describe it as something else. Like they may even describe
Yeah.
her differently, but I just can't get the image of Mila Kunis out of my head for her for some
Cool.
reason. It's weird.
Here's another slight digression. Liv and I talked about this before, but when you read a book, do you assign celebrities to characters? Like, is that something you do consciously? Is it subconsciously? Or do you at all? Because Liv doesn't.
No.
I do.
I have a picture of a person based on what they describe, but it's not ever a celebrity.
I will once in a while. Mine's subconscious, so sometimes it'll pop in, but not always. Like even with Harry Potter, I read them before, so when I read them again, I don't think of this. My old characters I'd created out of my own imagination are what are still.
That's interesting because I'm the opposite. I also read Harry Potter before, and then had my own ideas of the characters. And then they completely just went to the movie versions once.
Me too.
Once I saw those movies. I'm about half and half, I'd say. I think, like, coming back to Name of the Wind, that main character, I just have a weird abstract idea of what that guy looks like.
Yeah.
I couldn't. Red hair.
Redhead.
Yeah,
that's all I think of.
And then I think of celebrities for other things. Although I did at first think of him as Wiley Wiggins from Dazed and Confused. But like that's not what he's supposed to look like, I don't think. And I was like, get out of there. I can't. Yeah.
He could be one of the twins from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Fred and George.
Wiley Wiggins?
He sounds like a Weasley the way they write him.
Oh, you mean yeah.
Heads up, Sarah is chewing candy directly into her microphone. So just we have been told to not eat on this podcast. I just want to point that out.
So I apologize.
I do just want to point that out.
I bought some Gushers and I can't help myself.
Hey, I hear that. There's a box from me. It's gone in 10 minutes.
The next book I read, I'm going to assign a character to Rachel Lindsay.
Ooh.
You heard it here first. But right now I'm reading Stephen King's It, and there are no black characters.
Yes,
in
there
that
is.
Book. There is?
Yeah, Mike.
Oh, I guess I'm not that far.
Oh, sorry, spoiler. We're both reading it, but I'm a little farther ahead than you.
She's at 40%. I'm at 30%.
I'm at 47%.
We both have Kindles.
Whatever.
We're both reading things that have been made into Tilm.
Basically,
Tilm, film and TV.
Yeah.
I'm reading The Handmaid's Tale right now.
Ah, yes.
And I am listening to podcasts.
Andy is an avid reader, but not in a while.
I wouldn't call myself an avid reader. I was. I haven't read anything in a long time, though. I don't know what's going on.
Get reading.
I love reading.
I reread the last Harry Potter to remember what happened.
It's a good idea.
It's great.
It's a good idea.
Actually, I will say Ron. Ron is the guy from the movie in my head. Because I guess I hadn't really fleshed out
Rupert
Ron
Grint.
before. But Rupert Grint.
Ron the Weasel Weasley.
Yeah. All right.
Well, let's talk about this date a little more.
Yeah.
It was a silly one. It was an obstacle course to determine who the number one husband was or some shit. That involved literal shit or a reasonable facsimile, a few different things, and it ended up between Whaboom and Kenny there at the end, and Whaboom delivered a stunning stiff arm to Kenny, which basically won him the battle. And from Whaboom's intro video, it looked like he plays rugby, and Kenny's, of course, a pro wrestler, so arguably they're two best suited for this, and I actually like the battle, and I don't mind the stiff arm.
I don't know. It looked pretty dirty to me.
Yeah, I just hate him. So I hate everything he does. He's not even a villain. He's just an idiot.
Yeah, he is.
I'd hesitate to call him a villain too.
No,
actually.
he's just annoying.
He's a plant.
He's a plant, and he wants to be famous. And I was saying this to Andy, and I think I mentioned it a bit last week. I don't know if I did, but I don't think we've seen it like this before, where there's like on one end guys that are just so wanting to be famous and are obviously there. As we found out, this could be in Gossip Corner, but I'm going to say it now because we're talking about it. Bryce, and it's not even in Gossip Corner.
You said it on the show,
It was
yeah.
on the show. But Bryce and Whaboom were on a reality show together with their exes. So, like, these guys are just reality guys who want to be famous, who want to be, like, Instagram famous. And then we actually have, like, I'd say a really good group of guys who really do, or, like, have regular jobs and aren't actors and aren't, you know, and are actually, so she kind of has this weird cross-section of dudes.
Yeah, whereas usually it's a bit more homogenous, right? It's like, it kind of blends into each other. Here, there seems to be a bit of a clearer divide.
Yeah, for sure.
Between, and like they're doing less of a like pointed job to like keep those people who are probably just actors or whatever. Like they're doing a worse job of hiding, perhaps on purpose.
Yeah. Well, the real fireworks, as they tend to do these days, comes after the date, during whatever they call that phase of the date now. What would you call it?
Yeah, I don't know.
The after party?
Someone referred to it as the after party.
Which has really become a staple of the show. And they always do it in a weird spot. Like this time they went to like a museum of neon signs. And I forget who it was, like, yeah, it was pretty cool. We went in this dirty old warehouse. It's like, that doesn't sound very cool. Goddamn Iggy was sweating his balls off. There was too many lights on, man.
Yeah, I noticed that
side
too.
Note, Liv mentioned that Iggy resembles Jerome Aginla, a professional hockey player nearing retirement, whose nickname is also Iggy.
Yeah.
So that's weird.
I would argue
Iggy is Iggy.
I would argue that our Iggy, being Jerome McGinley, is better looking.
Yeah, and I would love to see Iggy with Rachel.
Oh,
being
God.
Jerome Aginla.
I met Jerome McGinley when we were in LA.
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
I walked by him when I was around work where there's hockey players around, and I walked by him. I did a double take, and he saw me do it, and he just kind of smiled at me like, yeah, all right.
Whoa,
It was
wicked.
awesome.
That's
I
awesome.
would
Yeah,
like
that's-
to see Iggy and Iggy kiss.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Sarah, big into the slash fiction.
I'm really into people kissing. Like,
Iggy-based slash fiction.
I would love to see a romance blossom out of the men that Rachel doesn't want this season. It happened in Australia between two women. They've fallen in love. They were both on The Bachelor there in Australia. And I would like to see it happen here.
That'd be pretty cool.
That would be cool. I would be into that as well.
Could
That's
it
my
have
dream.
Blake and Whaboom? Maybe.
It might
Not-
be.
'cause
It
of-
might actually be sexual tension. Who knows?
Yeah, this is where things got weird because Blake aggressively got in with Rachel to tell her how much he hates Whaboom and how nuts he is because he lived with Waboom's ex-girlfriend. There was a thing on Reddit. The girlfriend spoke out and said Blake's the one who's crazy, which I totally get. He strikes me as a psychopath.
Oh yeah, he's
Yeah.
pure psychopath.
Friend
Yeah.
zoning it immediately.
I just want to say, is this the fastest anyone's gone to The Bachelor or
I
Bachelorette?
think so.
Got it.
Episode
with
2,
this
yeah.
type of concern. Episode
First
2,
date.
first date in episode 2. That's unprecedented, right?
Yeah.
Because even
And
if
how about
even if someone maybe did it in the first episode, it's not quite the same, right? Like it's not like they might do that, but I don't even think that's happened. But date 1, episode 2 is mental. I can't believe it.
Well, as the cooler heads pointed out on the show, which I think echoed a lot of people's sentiment, it's like she'll figure it out. It's
Yeah.
still early. If just relax, man. If he's crazy, she's a smart woman, she'll know.
He'll blow himself up. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
but-
Or as Kenny poignantly pointed out, what did he say? This is just two white dudes acting crazy.
Yeah.
I love
And
him. He's so chill.
I love
man.
Kenny.
He's like
He's the best. What a smile.
Yeah.
he's just so he knows himself and he's not really
Yeah.
phased.
Well, he's mature.
He's not fizzed either. I'll tell you
He's
what.
not
This guy
fizzed.
doesn't
No
fizz
fizz.
out.
He's no
Zero
fizz.
fizz.
Zero
He's
fizz
uncarbonated.
about the situation.
Yeah.
Like, he's just I don't know, and he seems honest. I feel like some of the other guys, like it's Josiah, right? I feel like
Mm-hmm.
guys like that are saying what they think she wants
He's
to
so
hear.
fake. Yeah.
He's so
Yeah.
fake.
Yeah.
And I find a lot of guys are being very fake. Even Dean was given a weird vibe.
Dean. Oh, I don't like Dean.
Dean was
Deener.
just using all the weaponry he had.
Yeah,
It's like, I'm going to use my eyes, I'm going to use my smile, I'm going to use my laugh.
It
And
was
I'll
so
say-
fake
yeah.
to me. It was almost creepy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
exactly.
we'll get to that. Anyway.
And it worked. And I feel like Kenny, and there are some other guys like Kenny that are just being kind of natural. And like Peter later on, he's
Yeah,
Yeah.
natural.
yeah.
Oh,
And
love Peter.
That's why these guys are all, that's why people are noticing that they're the best already.
Yeah.
We talked about Lucas and Blake, right? I tweeted this, and but I wanted to bring it to the show today. Is that like what? And there's been a lot of talk about the casting of the season and the timeline of it and all this. But what happened this season that they had to cast both of those guys, and then like force Lucas in? Like, there's no question he was a producer pick. But I think this divide we're seeing where it's like obvious people who just want to be on TV and people who are just definitely faking it, mixed in with a couple of like sincere people. Like, was casting for this season just that low? Was it
That was
bad?
the vibe. There were certainly rumors like that, right?
Yeah.
Which is why like you said, the timeline was the way it was. So it's highly possible.
Maybe.
Unless it's just, having work experience in the entertainment industry, you'll probably get one producer being like, no, we need the crazy people. That's what people want to see. You get another person saying, yeah, but I don't know. We've been doing it. Some people find it annoying. So it's like a compromise almost, maybe.
I'm like wondering if it has to do with time or anything like that, as so much as it has to do with like that's all the people that apply for the show now.
Yeah.
It's just those people who want to be
there-
Instagram famous.
There is a difference between, even if you look at the older Bachelor and Bachelorettes, the newer ones are all selling stuff on their Instagram and all like, trying to make money off of this. And then, like, I'd say Ben Flacknick or whatever, and before him aren't. And after, actually, even, no, I think, him and above him, you don't see them. You don't see them doing that.
That's
they
true.
all have their own
Yeah.
jobs. So once Instagram started becoming a thing and people, like a real thing that people could monetize from, it's, I think it's totally changed it. I think I wouldn't be surprised if they have a horde of people that try every year to get on this thing. And maybe this year they just let a little more of the duds in. And I think for detriment to her, like, I feel bad for her. I feel like she's had the most kind of, the most shitty people to deal with in a long time. And it's not really fair.
Well, I mean, no one said.
Well,
it was
luckily
gonna be
there's
fair.
enough good ones in there
Yes,
that
that's true.
I don't feel that all hope is lost. But I mean, Whaboom and Blake, get the fuck out right now.
Especially Blake. I can tolerate Whaboom. I mean, in his argument with Blake and Whaboom seemed hammered,
wasted.
but he was being somewhat coherent, and I liked some of his little jabs. Like, what did he say? Hey, I'm sorry that you don't have Whaboom. And then he said, you know what? I am who I am, and the people that understand who I am are the people I want to be around. You're dismissed. I mean,
yeah, sure.
You can't really argue with that. I mean, yeah, he's annoying. I would never want to spend any time around him, and he could leave the show right now, and I wouldn't be mad at all. He put down Blake. Blake is the monster. I think he's the one I would warn Rachel against. And I mean, say what you will about these stunt casting, but everyone ends up talking about it, right? Like Chad, people are still talking about Chad, and we were like, "Ooh, Chad is a horrible person."
Yeah,
they gotta put him, I guess.
Yeah, I guess they have to have some of them. And there was a Dean moment where he did seem genuine. I did like when he said to Whaboom, "Come on, man, you're full of shit."
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah,
like,
Dean's got no time for him.
He did cut through, like, he just got to it, which was good.
Yeah,
and I'm sure, like, in case anyone out there is thinking that, like, that might have been out of line or whatever for Dean, but, like, I'm positive that if you're in the room with this guy, it's so fucking annoying.
I didn't think that was
you want to blow, I know, but, like, if there's anybody out there thinking, like, you want to blow your brains out just having to spend 10 minutes with Whaboom, I promise you, it would just be the worst. You would probably think, well, that Dean, what's his name? I keep mixing up Dean and Blake. Yeah, that Blake guy's an asshole, but this Whaboom guy is I'm gonna murder myself if I have to look at him again. Like, Yeah. So I can see in the room Whaboom being 10 times worse.
Oh yeah, I can't imagine. I want to see Kenny and Whaboom have a conversation.
I want there to be like.
They must have had one after that stiff arm.
I want a wrestling challenge that obviously aids Kenny, and then the match is Kenny versus Whaboom. Kenny just.
Whaboom would be good.
Play toys with him, sort of. Yeah, actually, Whaboom would be a good wrestler.
He plays like rugby is like half wrestling, and
he's
already got the
character.
Yeah, he's got the charisma.
Somebody posted his acting reel on the Bachelor subreddit. So if you want to see him, what he thinks he's good at, go check that out. But yeah, he's doing him a favor giving those views. Yeah, it's pretty bad. So Dean ended up getting the rose. I was disappointed in Kenny, but you could see it heading toward Dean. Kenny spoke really lovingly about his daughter, which he's been completely open and great about. But Dean was just flashing that smile.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed, to be honest.
By the smile, I know.
Especially after
Kenny's got a great smile too.
He does, especially after we learned like how important those first roses are and those first dates and so on. For Dean to get one, I was like, oh man, I didn't really see that coming. And also, though, I don't see it really meaning much.
He's in a lot of the preview.
25 years old. We know that is not in. That does not jive with the Yarmo Index, of which we were asked to explain in case there's any new listeners.
Oh yeah.
It's very simple. It's an idea brought up by our friend of the show, Steph Yarmo. She says that if you look back and track a lot of the old Bachelor winners and finalists and all this, that almost every time they're within a year or two of the age range. It's very important. So like Rachel's 31?
Yeah.
And Dean's 25, and that's just like the odds of that happening are just historically very low. It was usually you'd find someone within about a year or two of their
And
age.
we've kind of talked about why I think we did a long time ago when we first brought it up. That makes sense because
Mm-hmm.
you have the same reference level
Yep.
with someone, and when you're meeting each other so fast and furious, and that's what happens is that's the stuff you show first, and so I think that's why that really does happen that way.
At work today, we were talking. Somebody said there's I don't know if it's scientific. There is just a natural inclination for people of similar age, or if you have the same birthday, or if you're born of similar birthday or same month, you just have a natural affinity, even if you don't know that about the other person. So the Yarmo Index checks out, and Yarmo is a lawyer, just like Rachel Lindsay. So this isn't some, crazy person doling out knowledge. This is hard facts coming from celebrated lawyer and friend of the show, Steph Yarmo.
Yeah, there you go.
So that's the Yarmo Index.
Yeah. I just wanted to mention one other thing that I like about the Bachelorette season, especially. You can really see what the hot trend in hair for men is.
Oh yeah.
On the Bachelor season, women usually kind of just have long hair, and sometimes extensions are super popular, and sometimes natural hair. But that's about it. But with the men, you can really see this time. In JoJo seasons, the bouffants were quite tall, very tall bouffants. Right. Now they're still a bit of a bouffant, but it's smaller, more natural.
I'm hoping it shrinks more every year, and then they get rid of it.
Yeah.
I've had enough. Had enough of that haircut.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear about that contestant, not in this season, but some contestant of the franchise died today or yesterday?
Michael from Emily.
And he had long hair. So that's what made me think of that.
Oh, what
funny.
happened?
Is that what made you think of saying that? Because
No.
I just brought that page up.
Oh, no.
interesting.
I don't have my glasses
wow,
on.
that would have been a
can't
real
see.
circular motion there. But anyways.
Oh, what happened?
Yeah, it was on, what's her name? Emily Maynard's season.
I
forget
remember
what
him.
happened.
I don't think we watched that.
Let me see his picture.
Yeah, we did, because
We
that guy
did?
Ari won.
No, I never watched
Little
that.
Ricky. Oh.
No, I watched her on Brad's season, but not her Bachelorette season, which means you didn't watch it either.
Not true.
And,
Anyway.
Cause of death has not been determined yet.
Oh,
but
that's so sad.
super sad.
Yeah, it's sad. R.I.P. to that guy. You know who's full of life? Our boy Peter, who got the all-important first one-on-one date card. Not really a surprise there. We knew Peter was storming out of the gate. And this date had to do with doggies.
Yeah. I get it. I get that he's a handsome guy, but I don't get it at the same time.
Yeah, Sarah's having real trouble with Peter.
I think he kind of looks like he's the undead, like he's a vampire.
I
Not
think
like
he looks
ugly, but just vampire.
Devon Sawa a bit from Final Destination.
Ooh, yeah, I
Got
can
a bit of
see
Sawa.
that.
Yeah, a bit of Sawa. He's cute. He's not my type. But...
Rachel is obviously blinded by his looks because she was like, "Oh my God, he's so good with my dog. He's so good with dogs." So that's big. I didn't think he was that good with the dog.
He was petting the dog.
He was fine with the dog.
He was tolerating the dog.
Yeah,
seemed
tolerating
mildly
the dog.
uncomfortable with the
Yeah.
dog. To be honest.
Exactly.
I feel like anyone who says I'm good with dogs, I'm really good with dogs, is maybe not good with dogs.
That whole doggy date was shit, though. If that were me, I'd be rolling my eyes while the camera wasn't on.
You're not a dog man.
I'm not a dog man, so I wouldn't have survived that date. Now, after the dog party, everything went real well because they started talking, and they both have gaps in their teeth, which was obvious. But then that whole thing about how they both sought a therapist, have a relationship, that skyrocketed him in the rankings.
They were clicking so much. It was one of those times that's rare on this show where they seemed like they were actually connected.
And they did that thing where they didn't play any music in the background. They just actually played out a real section of a conversation without any editing.
It was one of the realer moments I've seen on this show in a long time.
Yeah, they just kind of let the conversation flow. Like I really felt like it wasn't very edited. It wasn't very, like with the music and everything, wasn't very produced. And and it was nice to just hear them have kind of a regular conversation too about their teeth. It was that's the
it happened a couple times on Nick's seasons. I think once with Rachel even they had one of those where it was like, okay, this is really just two people on a date. I like this. And Peter, I mean, we're talking Yarmo Index 31. He's right in the sweet spot.
Yeah.
Right in the sweet spot. One of the reasons he was my number one choice, number one draft pick.
Yeah.
If he wins, I'll be surprised. I will. I don't think he will.
Really?
Yeah. But maybe I'm just totally off on it. I just don't get the vibe, but
I liked how mature he seemed.
he was very genuine. He's very genuine. I agree.
And you get a feeling if he starts, if there's obviously a lot of bullshit starts in the house. I mean, we already saw it with DeMario sort of at the end of this episode, but you got to think Peter's going to kind of avoid that. That's sort of the sense I got.
Oh, yeah. He seems like a pretty relaxed dude. He's not going to get into any of this shit.
Yeah, I agree with that.
This Lee drama that we see is going to come up. Like,
oh God, the storm is brewing. Lee, God, what?
Super surprised if Peter was.
Speaking of tall hair, it doesn't get taller than that.
No,
I feel like that's a sign of a villain, like that kind of swoop.
That huge swoop, dramatic
Any
swoop.
kind of unusual, like dramatic
He's peacocking
hair
a bit.
is probably going to either land on the supervillain or superhero side.
And that's what sucks about Lee.
Or they're a chef. Yeah.
Lee is trying to be Chad. Chad didn't really understand. I think he did in some ways, but some ways he didn't really get why people didn't like him.
Chad is Chad.
Chad is Chad, and this guy's trying
say
to
that
be
about Chad. He's Chad.
He's Chad, man. He's
just,
a Chad.
He's just a pretty damaged and shitty person.
Yeah, and Lee is a guy trying to be the villain, trying to get on Bachelor in Paradise. Trying.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's worse. I agree with Liv completely.
We'll see. I can't wait to see what happens with him. I'm really interested to see what happens.
Yeah.
So needless to say, Peter got a rose, no doubt about that.
Obvi.
And I mean, you got to say after this episode, he's top of the power rankings, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that date. It couldn't have gone much better.
Does he have gray eyes? It's like it looks like that.
Yeah, they seem kind of.
They're like a weird gray or green or something. Like there's something.
He had a bit of salt and pepper in his hair too, which I like.
Yeah, those parts are dreamy for me. Dreamy.
You like light eyes, dark hair?
I like the salt and pepper.
Oh,
I like a salt and pepper man, and maybe also in his eyeballs.
Yeah, gray
Someone
eyes,
dug
like
up.
salt and pepper eyeballs.
Whoa, weird. He looks so different.
On Peter's, I think this is his Instagram. There's a picture of him modeling. Yeah. Someone dug up. Liv thinks he looks different, and he does when he does.
He looks like
when
Patrick
he
Dempsey
covers up
there,
those chompers. That's really his signature.
Yeah, and his hair is all dark brown there. Yeah, he looks really different.
What do you think? You think he looks good?
He's again like I kind of see what Sarah's saying. Like I objectively can see that he's good looking, but he just doesn't do it for me.
There's something missing.
I think he seems like a good dude. I don't know.
Definitely seems like a good dude to me.
I don't want to be mean here, but it looks like maybe he's done some drugs in his life. Like
you're just saying that because like his eyes, like he has like kind of like those dark circles.
The dark,
in his
like
eyes, but I don't think that's related to anything.
Vibrant.
I don't think that's related to anything.
But he's a very handsome man. I agree with that. He's handsome.
Untoward.
Ladies, what do you think out there?
Ladies loving Peter, man. Ladies are going nuts for Peter.
And men, what do you think, men and ladies? Everybody. Can
I love
say.
Peter.
I
love Peter.
Seems
I
like
think
he's
great.
Dude.
Who do you guys think is the hottest guy on the show?
Pete.
Ooh. Did you
Not
say?
Kenny?
Oh, I thought you said me.
Me.
I think Alex is one of the reasons I picked him for my dark horse because I think he's pretty attractive.
I like him too. He's a little too big for me, but otherwise, I'd say him.
But I also think Kenny's pretty cute.
Kenny too.
Though he's a thicky boy.
We'll get to DeMario. I thought DeMario was one of the best looking ones, but
not anymore.
Well, I guess we can dive right into that one.
Diggy's good looking when he doesn't have his glasses on.
Diggy looks super hot when he was playing basketball.
Or just normal glasses.
Yeah, I was digging Diggy.
His bizarre glasses I'm not loving, but whatever.
No,
I do not like Diggy's glasses.
They're not big enough for his face. That's the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
All of them.
Liv has the same problem. She needs bigger glasses.
I do.
Because a lot of glasses don't fit her face.
Yeah. Andy too.
Me too. I need big glasses, yeah.
Yeah, if regular size glasses on me look ridiculously small. It's a problem.
It's a big problem.
It's a big problem.
Let's talk about grape date number 2 with Will, Jamie, Diggy, Alex, Adam, Lee, Matt, Eric, Josiah, and DeMario. Pretty basic sports setup. They got to play basketball. NBA legend Kareem Abdul-Jabbar showed up, who was refreshingly genuine in everything he did.
Yeah, it was fun.
And he was also a giant. How tall is he?
Oh, he's huge.
He's a 7-footer.
Right?
I want to stand beside him so bad. I'm 5'1", guys. It would be cool.
It'd be cool. Kareem said something like something about Jekyll and Hyde, like some of these guys could be like Jekyll and Hyde on you, you know. And then at the same time, they kept showing DeMario. They kept talking about how cool DeMario was, how great he was, and Rachel. They cut to clips of Rachel saying how much she liked DeMario. And that's when I knew whose girlfriend it was.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I had totally forgotten about that girlfriend thing. And then when she showed up, I was like, oh, yeah, okay.
I thought that would be
that's
coming later.
Is that because you, like, Glenn, did you know it was in the episode?
No. I didn't know.
I didn't either.
There was a coming up on The Bachelorette. Like, they showed it. So
we always skipped it at the beginning. We skipped the coming up just so we go in fresh.
We fast forwarded, but I saw it, so I was like, okay, that's in this episode. Wow, that's crazy. It's already in the second episode, and then yeah.
I was sad.
I mean,
he was winning me over. I didn't really like him in the first episode, and then I even said I was like, I kind of like DeMario now, and then that happened.
Yeah, because he was clearly the better basketball player than anyone, but he didn't seem to really put it in anyone's face, even though he's uber cocky. He kind of just when it came time to win, he turned up the juice, did a few dunks, did a few layups, won the game for them, and and then that was that. And then
they didn't win the game.
Oh, they didn't?
No, DeMario's team lost. I think Eric might have been the better basketball player because they the way they were showing it is like those two were the two best for sure. And then but then they focused so much on DeMario because of the girlfriend thing. But I bet you Eric was just better, and that's why his team won.
I like they looked like they were having fun.
Maybe he's a better ball distributor. Maybe that's why. Because it's a team game, obviously.
You got to distribute the balls.
You got to distribute. It's all about ball movement. That's
you got to have 10 balls, and you got to distribute them to everybody.
Well, just the one's fine,
and
but
then just
if
throw
you did
the balls.
have several, that'd be different.
Anyway, I thought they looked like they were having fun, which is nice to see sometimes with these challenges. Yeah. And that's what she said. They were just really trying hard.
Yeah, it was a close game. Hugs all around at the end. I love that.
Yeah.
It was nice to see. No one got too intense, and it was great.
Yeah, even Lee, who they were kind of setting up like, oh, I don't like no basketball, and then he participated. He didn't really stand out at all, so he didn't get to add a dash of villain to the proceedings, which was nice.
It was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Kareem was a delight.
Yeah,
it was an absolute delight. That was a little weird. Pardon?
Go ahead.
He was when he was like, you know what? This show's a lot like basketball. It takes it. Like, come on, man.
Like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, right, Kareem.
Hey, Kareem, can you just read this? Like, okay, sure. This show is a lot like basketball. Finding Love is a lot like
balls.
Slam dunk. Yeah. A hook shot.
If I could give you 3 pointers, it would be to.
That's great. And make sure to stay beyond the arc.
No foul play.
Whoa.
Michael Jordan is here.
Whoa. He's a contestant this season.
Can you imagine?
Oh,
huge. I was going to say, whenever he came out, it was like when the Backstreet Boys came out in the last season.
That's true.
All the guys went
but
nuts.
For boys, yeah.
It was nice.
Yeah, that was a nice cameo. And when you think about it, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Ashton Kutcher, and Mila Kunis in one episode.
Huge
That's
episode.
A lot of star power.
Yeah.
They really blew their wad here early on. I hope another comedian comes on the show.
I know.
Because as good as
so
Ashton
fun.
And Mila was, every time they brought a comedian on and they let them just do whatever they want, like Jimmy and Amy Schumer, it's a real delight.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, let's get into this DeMario thing. We all know the story now. And a jaded ex-girlfriend shows up, claims that she was with him right before AFR when DeMario made his debut. Then DeMario comes out.
Oh.
And Andy, you put up that GIF that was great.
Yep.
But his reaction was, I mean, any judge in the country would convict him purely based on that.
Oh my God, it was unbelievable. Whoa, who's this?
Yeah, that is the number one reason right there. She should have been like, oh, okay, then you're out because you're just lied right away.
Oh,
like I wouldn't even talk to him afterwards. I'd be like, dude, you're out.
The first few minutes of him, DeMario, and I guess what's her name, Lexi.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. The first few minutes of them talking, it was like a bad play. It was just so awkward, and it seemed like they were acting, but in a bad way. But, I mean, I believe it, I guess. It was just so awkward.
DeMario couldn't talk his way out of any of it.
Like, he'd deny and then, admit to some little thing, and then deny something else, and then admit to it, kind of. It was just,
Rachel got her lawyer on a bit, poked the holes in the case. That was great.
Yeah, the only thing I'm going to say, in defense of DeMario.
Whoa, you're going to say something in defense of DeMario.
Because he lied. He was lying in this situation. It was bad. But who knows what their relationship was? And then your recent ex pops up and starts calling you out and calling you a shithead and saying you're lying. I don't know what I would say. It was all so fast.
I thought that too, right?
And I was like, and then the text, even the text she read did not say to me, oh, they're for sure in a relationship.
Come on. He called her babe. The dates on the
But
text
some
were
people
right.
date people and they're not actually, and then they break up with them in a shitty way. Yeah, but that's not what he was.
Come on, he wasn't saying. You got to admit, he really.
I'm interested to see the conversation coming up.
Oh, I can't even believe that you're saying that. He's like, come on, man. He said, "Who's this?"
Oh, that part's brutal.
He lied right off the top.
He lied right off the top.
The whole time he would admit to lying about something then downplay it.
I'm not defending.
If your ex showed up in that situation and you did nothing wrong, you did nothing untoward, you broke up with them a couple of months before coming on the show, you wouldn't be like, "Whoa, who's this?" You'd be like,
I agree. Yeah. That's bad. But I don't defend him completely. He could very well be completely lying and be a piece of shit. But I'm just saying, some people don't deal with this the way everybody else deals with this, and I just want to hear the actual full story from his mouth instead of like this back and forth weird thing where they're barely letting him talk and it wasn't really explained. I just want to see because you know what, everybody wants to be famous. Maybe this girl wants to be on camera and be remembered. Look, that girl who yelled at someone on a plane is getting her own reality show. Like, yeah, who knows what people think these days? She saw. I don't doubt for
a second that Lexi's got an ounce of crazy in her. For sure, she does. But even when he came out and she's like, "Surprise, Karma's a bitch."
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
That's what I mean about it seeming like bad acting.
But I mean, you can't deny maybe she was crazy and maybe they were barely a couple, but I mean, he still texted her. There was still something going on. So and like lying. Andy said, he lied right off the bat, like tried to lie his way out of it. So there was something going on.
Yeah, I agree with that. There's definitely some shadiness here. The one thing I will say too, Andy, that goes with what you were saying about the timeline.
Yeah.
Is I feel like he was like found out he was on the show rather quickly and then was right away in that after the final rose thing.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because that's what that's kind of what it felt like she was saying. She's like, and suddenly he's on this show. You know?
that was well, okay.
I'm just saying it could be. I'm just saying the timeline seemed kind of weird.
I don't think it could be, and I don't think the timeline was weird. I think that she saw him on AFR, then bam, I think it lined up fine.
No.
I'm gonna pause. Just pause for a second. Sorry, guys.
What happened?
Yeah, it's weird on this end. We were seeing black from you guys.
You guys were frozen for like 10 minutes.
Do we still have the audio?
Oh yeah.
Audio.
Everything's fine, but except for this. So it's not a big deal. I'm just gonna pause here and then cut back to the. Just have to restart the program because
I wasn't saying that.
Sorry, I wasn't even really listening. That's why I had to pause. It was like.
Yeah, you were like, no, I don't agree.
I was more worried about. All right, so we didn't even have to stop recording. Perfect.
Yeah, I didn't stop.
Great.
All right.
So I'll just explain what I was saying to you.
Yeah, you can.
You'll see. It'll be easy to edit in.
Okay. Yeah.
No, what I'm explaining, not the after fact with her. It was more the before. Like, I think he got notice that he was going to be on the show, and he kind of was just suddenly on the show. I don't think he knew about it much more before he got asked.
Yeah, and I think that relationship wasn't strong enough for him to be like, well, I'm going to stay with what's her name now. I think I'm going to.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I think you're right about people. I think the casting was weird. Yeah. So people found out about it right before because they were doing the casting. Like, they were still doing casting after the final rose.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yes, for sure they were.
So it's like, I think those guys found out really close to being on that show.
Yeah.
Right, I know.
And I think they were all LA guys.
I think what she was saying is that, like, that's probably true. But he found out and then left. Like,
that's what I mean.
2 days before, which is pretty brutal.
Oh, it's shit. It's shit. Yeah. I'm saying it goes with what you were saying about the casting.
And then she didn't even hear from him at all. She didn't even like. And
that's pretty brutal.
He wasn't even, and you could tell he was definitely caught in a lie about that because he's like, well, some contact, but none. And then she's like, oh, his story kept changing.
The
it
mailing
was so
of the
brutal.
keys is my favorite. I mailed you those keys.
Yeah,
I mailed you those keys.
That was so bad. That's when he really got caught. And then inevitably he gets kicked off, which was the right move. And then when he was in the locker room after, he was just like, oh man, like you could tell he's like, well, I didn't get away with it.
Got busted.
Yeah, he wasn't sad at all. He was more like, I fucked up, which you did, buddy.
Yeah.
And then of course he resurfaces later, which we'll talk about in a sec, which I'm not too happy about.
Nope.
But after the date, Sarah, go on.
Sorry, I was like, he could still be on Bachelor in Paradise.
That's true. He still qualifies for the franchise.
Yeah,
for sure he
Yeah.
does. I feel like people have done worse.
He got past the 1 episode minimum. So after this whole kerfuffle, the men actually did a pretty good job at comforting her. Eric and Josiah made out with her a bunch. A couple good makeouts, and then somehow I don't know, maybe I wasn't paying much attention at this point. We were probably arguing, or we were probably talking about DeMario, but Josiah ended up with the rose because he offered her protection. She felt protected by him, which is interesting. But I don't know, man. I'm not too fond of Josiah.
No.
I'm not even that fond of Eric, and I liked him off the hop.
I like Eric. I Josiah to me,
saying all the right things.
I liked him in the first episode,
Dean move.
but I've kind of
too fake.
I'm cooling off on him now. Also, this protection thing just made me uncomfortable. Come on.
The way he talks about women, I don't like, and I said it in the first episode too, when he was like, "She's mine. She's going to be my wife, my."
Yeah.
And now he's saying, "I'm going to protect her." And I think he's the one in the next episode being like, "I need to show her my manliness." I think it was him, but I don't know because it was just kind of a voiceover. Could not be. But also, I think she got a little bit tricked this episode. Dean and him got roses, and I think she got a little bit tricked. She fell for the schmoozy, saying all the right things.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. I think it's a good observation.
But I think she's smarter than that, and I think later on she'll figure it out.
Oh, yeah. It'll work itself out. I mean, she's got a lot of duds to sort through here, and she's got to give each one a chance, and hence Whaboom or whatever. I don't know. She's going on first impressions here, so and these little slices she has with them. That being said, she made out with a lot of people and a lot of tongue too.
Yeah, some passionate kisses.
Her kiss with Peter was less sloppy than the one with Brian, but very intense, like tongue, everything. And after she was like, "Ooh, I like that."
Yeah.
So things were heating up. She kissed Brian again after he gave her that massage, which was a nice move during the cocktail party. Yeah. Brian didn't have that much to do in this episode, but that move to give her the coupon for the massage, that's what you got to do. You got to make future promises like, "I'll tell you about this later. Let's follow up on this later." Yep. And it guarantees you sort of to pick up where you left off in the next conversation, right?
You know who I think is out is the guy with the doll, because we didn't hear him talk. And then he showed her some stupid dollhouse that had a Barbie and a Ken in it that looked like they got it out of the prop room.
You know what? I got to say this, though. I am loving the
I
fact
love
that
the
Adam
doll.
Jr.
Oh yeah,
kicking around. They show him in the crowd at the basketball game.
Yep.
He's he was face down in the mud during the relay race or whatever.
Even when Adam leaves, which he will probably soon, I hope they keep the dummy.
Yeah, that's what I said last night. Yeah.
Kudos to the producer who came up with this bit, because it's one of the better bits they've had in a while.
Usually their bits are terrible, but this one's great.
This one's fun.
It's very funny.
Creepy too. Quite creepy.
Yeah,
that face on that
doll's
doll,
face,
man.
and its hair is also.
Its hair was half off, but then it looked like it was wearing a wig because its hair on the sides were still there.
Yeah,
which was extra creepy.
It's got two pieces. It's like it's got the side piece, so it's like Adam Jr. is wearing a toupee.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I just love his little suit.
His little suit is fun. His little weird face.
I like that he has a wardrobe.
Yeah,
because he changed
different stuff.
He was wearing He was wearing like shorts and a t-shirt or something.
Oh, cute!
I want
and a baseball
Adam
hat.
Jr.
You should pick him.
Yeah. What a creepier show this would be if he was an option.
Did anything else happen during the cocktail party? I don't seem to recall. I think it was just a bunch of kissing and talking about DeMario, perhaps.
Light talks. There seemed to be light talks. That
Brian, like I said, Brian made that nice power move with the massage. Everyone else kind of didn't really do much because DeMario interrupted it by showing up again, and the show will have us believe that there's some big confrontation and there's something big happens, but all that's going to happen, she's going to go out, say what's up, he's going to apologize, she's going to say thank you for apologizing, and that'll be it.
Yep.
You got a Glenn McCauley guarantee.
Yep.
I love it. One thing we did get though was we got to meet Polly, which was the
I
big
love that.
security
Yeah.
guard.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
And-
that was cool.
And now Chris Harrison's like put a video of him on his Instagram.
Oh, really?
So I think
That's
he's getting
good.
popular. I think people really liked seeing him.
Oh, that's awesome.
He seemed nice.
Yeah.
I liked when Rachel came back in after the DeMario drama. She just pure cold-shouldered Chris Harrison. And he was standing there in the gym wanting to talk to her, and she just beeline, didn't even want to have anything to do with him.
Because he produced that.
We didn't touch on this, but like, I totally understand that. Like,
Yeah.
what, you knew that girl was there. You let all this happen. You set it up. Like, that's, oh man, it's
When
so
you
brutal.
give
You
someone-
got blindsided like that.
Yeah, when you give someone a mic and you set them up with a
Yeah.
mic to go talk to Rachel like that, I didn't like it because it felt on her second episode something very produced and
yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
It's almost like she contacted the producers like maybe even before they started filming, and they were like, "Ooh, let's save this for the."
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or they just do so much background checking on these people to dig up stuff that they're like, "Ooh, we got a real live one here." Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows? But I also like, Andy, you pointed this out in a tweet that Chris Harrison was earning his paycheck this time. He had to go to the basketball game.
That was
Yeah.
a Sarah tweet.
That was
yeah,
me.
Sarah.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, look who showed up.
Showed up. He's at work today.
That's what I said. I was like, he's at work.
Yeah.
I was like, he never around. He works like all the hosts of all the Bachelors around the world work like 2 days a week.
Sweet,
Yeah.
And
sweet.
like
Now-
barely.
Now, up until this point, I was liking the episode. We had some controversy. We had celebrities. We had some fun challenges. We had some real romance happening. And then what they go and do, they cut it off so there's no fucking rose ceremony in episode 2.
Oh.
Episode 2, we're not getting a rose ceremony? Like, fuck off with that. That's
Bullshit.
bullshit. Like, there's a lot of people we got to cut here. So they better do 2 rose ceremonies next week.
Yeah.
They will.
Like-
they'll
If
open
they
with one.
bookend it and then don't
Well-
jerk us around like this for a while, I'll be happy. But of course they won't.
They won't. No. Well,
Yeah, I don't know,
I
actually.
did
Yeah, you
say
guys are
it
probably
on
right.
Facebook. Someone was talking about this show, and they were saying, and I was
Okay.
like, oh man, but there's no rose ceremony. And then she had a point. She's like, but there's so much drama with this stuff. How would they even fit it in? You don't want them to just squeeze this into the end of the episode.
Oh no, it's not. It's that they saw an opportunity for a cliffhanger with DeMario coming back.
But I get that take advantage of it. I get it. It sucks though. I was so mad. I just want to know who's out. I want to know if Whaboom's out of there, man. I just want to
Yeah,
know
exactly. I
if
think
he's
Whaboom's going to live to see another week, personally.
I think so,
there's
too.
too many other people who got barely any screen time. And
Yeah.
our boy Anthony didn't get any.
I know.
We know Anthony gets a date, so we know he's not gone.
I thought I saw him kissing her at some point in the extended preview, so there's time.
We were shocked to find out that Alex is Russian and not Greek.
Yeah.
We had assumed he was Greek,
Oh.
but then he sang in Russision. So, yeah, whatever to that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that pretty much brings us to the end of the episode. That it gives me hope for the rest of the season. I think there is going to be some true love happening for sure, but I'm a little worried about all the drama that can sometimes overshadow. And it looks like from now on, once this DeMario stuff passes, Lee is going to take the driver's seat,
Yeah.
and Eric gets plenty pissed.
Name is in your mouth, dude. Yeah. Yeah. That's what he says. My name
Oh,
is in
my
your mouth.
name is
Yeah.
in your mouth.
Yeah. So mad about his name being in his mouth. Take it out of your mouth, man. Don't
Take
leave it
that
in
name
there.
out of his mouth.
You're getting spit all over it.
Yeah, sounds like a magic trick.
Yeah. My name is in your mouth.
I never even told you my name. Pretty cool trick,
DeMario.
actually.
But
That's
seeing
that's
some
Blaine.
Eric.
all of this stuff happening though pretty soon, I think Lee's not in it for very long. He might move one trip beyond the mansion, but then I think he's out.
Yeah. I feel that too, probably.
I hope
I
so.
think the drama is just going to get too much, and whenever that happens, they get wind of it. They know what's going on. She knows
Yeah.
what it's like.
Yeah.
Although
Do
she
you
does
got-
know what she does. She's friends with Corinne, and Corinne was the one that the drama was all surrounding, and it turns out she's pretty cool, maybe.
Yep.
Anyway,
Perhaps. Let's just quickly revisit our picks just to see where we're at. We might as well, right? So,
Yeah.
Andy, you had Peter, Kenny, Diggy, Dark Horse Matt. We didn't see anything from Matt,
Nothing
Penguin
from
Man, this
Matt,
time. Which true Dark Horse, so there's nothing wrong there.
True
Uh,
Dark Horse.
Sarah, you had Kenny, Anthony, Brian, and Dark Horse Peter. Who's Brian again?
The
Oh, the
guy she made
kissy
up
guy.
with.
Yeah.
Kissy guy, yeah.
Okay, he's looking good there. I had Kenny, Peter, Eric. Eric's gonna eat himself alive with his mouth name. and Dark Horse Alex. Nothing bad there.
Nope.
Liv had Peter, Anthony, Kenny, Dark Horse, Eric. So we're still all rolling 4 deep, which is good.
Yeah, because there wasn't a rose ceremony.
Yeah.
I have some gossip.
Okay.
Hit it. Let's enter
This is more of like an angry corner. We should hate Whaboom way more, and I didn't shed light on it till now, because he fat shames people online. There's this model that even I follow. I forget her name. She's a plus size model, and she's awesome. And
Ashley Graham.
No. Good try though. Good try. That is just one you know. No, and he said something really horrible, like about her being on, like it was just awful. And then somebody said something back to him, and then he talked about, well, maybe if she ate less Big Macs, then maybe she wouldn't be this way and stuff. Like just disgusting stuff. So he's a horrible guy. He's horrible, and I don't care what redeeming qualities we might see. I still think he's just a pure piece of shit. And on the other gossip, JoJo and Jordan, Giorgio, are flipping a house.
Hey, all right.
So if you
a major step in anyone's relationship.
Yeah, and
just
I don't
ask Christina and what's
Tarek
that guy?
Tarek.
I did some investigation on who's going to be on Bachelor in Paradise.
Ooh.
And Sarah has a boyfriend.
Sarah, one arm Sarah?
Well, that is her distinguishing characteristic.
I was going to say her last name, but yes, she's also the woman that has one arm.
Yeah, one arm Sarah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Anyways,
we knew that though, didn't we?
I didn't. No, we hadn't talked about
okay.
it. No.
Maybe this I saw it on Reddit or something.
Yeah, this is newer. She's not. James Taylor was going. He was like all saying like, Raven, you need a good Southern boy, but now he has a girlfriend.
Ooh.
And he won't be on, but Raven's gonna be on.
Yep.
And Chad was going to be on, but something happened.
Good.
Amanda might be back.
Oh God.
Come on.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. She was like,
that's
2 months ago, I would have said no, but now maybe I will. It's like, you always will.
But now I want more exposure.
It's like officially that case should be filed with
Yes.
Child Protective Services.
100%.
Fuck, man.
At least she should stop asking her ex-husband for money if she's just gonna leave her children all the time.
Yeah, and then go on the show and be like, I miss my kids. It's so bad being away from my kids, but I have to find love.
Yeah. So, and then the one that ended up being friends with Vanessa, I forget her name. She was really tall, blonde, shorter hair.
Whitney? No.
Danielle?
Danielle.
Oh, Danielle, yeah.
She's open to it, but she said her nursing job might not let her, and it has to be a good caliber of men.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, that's not going to happen. But,
and Danielle said she's up for it. She's the Russian. She's up for it. But she kind of said, like, a bunch of them were like, it depends on who's going to be there. I think people don't want to spend, a month with a bunch of duds.
Well, they also they all know each other now. It kind of is,
Ashley's out.
Everyone
Ashley's
automatically knows everyone because they go to these like events and that they get paid to be at and stuff. So Bachelor in Paradise is like, oh, we talked before, and all this always happens, but it's still pretty good.
Ashley's out.
Ashley I.
Yeah.
I saw that Ashley I and Chris Harrison were dating.
What?
Yeah.
No, they're not dating.
They're not like currently dating, but they were.
Her and Ben, people are saying her and Ben are dating now because he broke up.
Ben Flavchnik?
No, the last
Higgins.
Ben, because he broke up
Higgy.
with, and they do a podcast together, and he put up a picture of the podcast today and had this of them together doing the podcast and had this big thing about negative people and all the changes in his life. So I don't know if that's like supposed to mean something. And then there was one other person that was gonna go, but I don't remember. But
apparently Caitlin launched a podcast this week.
Yes,
we should all check that out.
It's all about being like natural and being real.
That sounds kind of boring, and but whatever.
Yeah.
We love Caitlin over here.
Yeah, she's great. But yeah, I think it's going to be a bit of a fresher crowd at this Bachelor in Paradise, which might be nice.
I hope so.
That's good.
I'd be in for that.
Yeah.
I'd be in for like some fan favorites, and then a couple of people who feel like they didn't get a good shot in their respective seasons.
Yeah.
I'd be into that.
I would still like to see it like in the challenge, that MTV show where they did fresh meat, where they'd mix half people from the franchise with new people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's
that would
good,
be
man.
awesome. Like throw some wild cards in there, just to really stir it up.
They did the first one. the first one had two people that weren't.
Did.
Yeah,
right.
that's true. They were
the
just
fans.
like fans. Yeah.
Yeah, they were. Their girl was great. The guy was a dud.
Yeah, the guys died. And even the girl, she got booted out pretty quickly
nobody
too.
knew her.
I wish they'd get back to that, and I wish they'd stop pretending that it is about love. But I know they've gotten quote unquote engagements out of it. But yeah,
That's the brand.
That's just, and speaking of the challenge, I don't think we mentioned this last time, but for the 2018 Winter Olympics, they're doing a Bachelor themed sports competition.
Yeah.
I guess not unlike the challenge, as a companion piece to the Olympics, because I guess ABC has it.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a bunch of contestants competing in winter sports. I don't know. Am I going to watch it? Yeah. Are we going to
of
podcast
course.
about it? Probably.
I feel like it's gonna be a hyped up version of Bachelor Pad.
Yeah. Yeah. It might be
Because
fun. Who knows?
They used to do that stuff
I
in
think,
that show.
I think it could use a little more drama like that, a little more
Competition
challenge,
aspect.
Competition.
Yeah,
Just,
exactly.
just for fun, like just to just to mix things up a bit.
It's basically a soap opera, Bachelor
Yeah,
in Paradise.
and sometimes
So
it gets
The cool
boring.
thing about the challenge was that it did become this thing that was really competitive in the events that they did. So every guy, and I'm sure the women too, they came jacked on roids, like guaranteed. Johnny Bananas even admitted it. And then the competitions were always really like pretty hardcore.
So intense, yeah.
So that's kind of what made that show watchable outside of the awesome drama and drunkenness at the house. So anyway, I'll speak the virtues of that any day. The challenge, not bad.
Have we watched it in years? No.
No. But that's okay. It got a little dry.
Yeah.
We got older. It stayed the same age.
yeah.
All right.
Well, why don't we wrap it up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
I'm just gonna say this one thing that I'm really excited about that has nothing to do with The Bachelor, but it is a reality show. Nick Carter and Jerry and them are doing a show called Boy Band. And they form a boy band, and I'm really excited about it.
You said Jerry and them.
Jerry
like some
from
guy
the
named
Spice
Jerry
Girls.
that we know.
Jerry from the Spice Girls.
Jerry Halliwell.
I too did not know what Jerry you were talking about.
My buddy Jerry and this guy Jeff, they're starting up a great reality show called What's in My Truck.
I just want to. I have one last thing. Also, this is my final thing. I promise. Nick and Vanessa are in Montreal right now, and Benoit is here to talk about their trip.
Oh my God, that's very exciting. Actually, I just got to jet out real quick. Though.
Okay, bye,
I'll
Andy.
be back and
See you, man.
I'll say hi to him.
Okay.
Hey, Benoit. There he is.
Hello, salut, Bachelor Pod. What is going on today? Huh?
Hey, how are you enjoying the season, my man?
Oh, loving the season, although I haven't watched any episodes yet. But I will catch up. Sometime.
You only watched the Canadian one.
Oh, I only watch Bachelor Canada. Okay, the Canadian Bachelor. It is only the only episodes I can watch. But I will also watch Survivor as well.
Have you seen Nick and Vanessa around your city?
Oh, yeah. I've been following them and saying hello and saying, salute to them as well. And they are not responding. They don't recognize me. I see them on the TV. They don't see me, though, on their TV, I suppose.
Yeah, because they didn't watch the Canadian.
Excuse, you don't watch W Network from Canada? Come on.
Well, that's
Now, Benoit, we got Canada's 150th birthday coming up on July 1st. You got any plans?
Bon
Big blow?
fête! Bon fête! Bon fête, Canada! 150, 50, something. So good. Oh, I got big plans. Benoit, I got a couple of plans. I'm going to invite some people to make my own Bachelor Bachelor Pad. Bachelor en Paradise. That's what I'm going to do. It's going to be in Quebec City.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's going to be very cold. And it's going to be me trying to make out with them on a bed.
Oh, that's so creepy.
It's going to be, we got big sponsor. We got the Couche-Tard is going to sponsor it as well as...
Couche-Tard.
Couche-Tard, the convenience store. The dépanneur, Anyways, and Molson Eye Dry going to sponsor it as well.
Great.
All right. Well, thanks for coming by,
Thanks
my
for
man.
coming by.
No problem, anytime. Okay.
Okay, bye.
Okay, out of here. Here I go. Bon fête, Canada. Bon fête.
He just flew out the window.
Wow. Oh, man, I missed it.
That was crazy.
I missed him again.
That was cool. He talked about kissing girls on couches, though.
Yeah,
so.
such a creep.
Oh, that's his thing. That's what he
Again,
does.
for new listeners, Benoit was from the Bachelorette Canada, and he comes and pops by our show once in a while, which is great.
Yeah, and he
Through
really
the window.
He really did sound like that.
He liked licking a whole lot.
He was a real licker.
He was disgusting.
Love to lick something. Eh?
Whoa, he's
Whoa,
back.
he just
He's
came
out
back
the
to say
window.
something.
He
He's got
flew
it.
right back in.
All right, that
well-
does it for this week. I gotta go, so we all
Gotta
have to go.
go
That
do
means.
what?
Huh?
What do you have to go do?
I have to go hang out with my friends.
And you're playing a game though. What's the game?
Oh, it's cards. Just playing cards.
He's playing Magic the Gathering, everyone.
My
They
brother.
know I have a magic podcast.
Yeah.
Your brother, I don't know. He's not coming. No.
Oh,
He's at work,
He's
remember?
getting
yeah,
back
he's
in.
at work. That's right.
All right, guys. Great time this week. We'll see everybody next week. Take it easy.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Remember we have Patreon if you want to support the show directly. Bye.
Bye.
If you want to contact us, you can reach out to us on social media. We're at The Bachelor Pod on Twitter, and individually, we're at Andy Holbone.
At Glenn McCauley.
At Olivia McCauley.
At the Sarah Hillier, that's at sign THESARAHHILIER.
If you want to support the show directly, you can go to patreon.com/thebachelorpod and donate there. Otherwise, we're thebachelorpod@gmail.com for an email and thebachelorpod.ca. That's our website.